Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this scene card using stamps and dies from Hello Bluebird. It's a new stamp company that I'm really excited about. They have a lot of really cute things. So here are the stamp sets that I am using. It's McGregor's Garden is the set that the bunnies and their dies are from. That one with the flower pot is just my favorite. He's so cute. And then I'm using this greeting set as well with a lot of wonderful springtime greetings. As always, all of the supplies are listed in the description box and over on my blog. This set has such great combo sentiments that you can use. Bloom and grow, spring is here, just really adorable things. I've already colored all of the images I'm going to use today off camera. The copics that I've used are listed over on my blog. I'm also going to be using this Lawn Fawn plaid paper as grass today using a Lawn Fawn grassy border. And then I've got some distress oxides, a piece of watercolor paper, it's Canson XL, and a piece of acetate. I'm going to be doing some ink smooshing for my background, my sky background. So I'm going to start out by making that sky background. So I am using Salty Ocean and Broken China Distress Oxide inks. And like I said, that's Canson XL watercolor paper. And I am just laying down some color, taking it from the acetate and putting it on the paper. You could also use like a Ziploc baggie for this, or you could just take the inks and squish them down onto like a mat or something like that, like a craft mat, wet it, and then put the paper on top of that. But for this one, I wanted to be able to see through it and see where I was putting the ink, so the acetate worked. So here I'm just in between each layer taking my heat gun and drying it off, because oxides layer on top of each other when dry. So wet on wet blend, but wet on dry layers, if that makes sense. I'm trying to keep this pretty light, not too dark, but I do like it to kind of look splotchy. It kind of looks like there's clouds in the sky. So I started out with the first layer, Broken China, and then added a layer of Salty Ocean. And I will end up adding another layer of Broken China, taking a little distress. I always want to say distress sprayer bottle to get some water on there. So like I said, just layering on top and then going ahead and drying it once again. And I've got a pretty good splotchy effect going, exactly what I was after. So just drying it off. And then I will set it aside to completely and totally dry after I've sprayed it and then picked it back up with paper towel. So that panel that I created is 4 by 5.25. So I'm cutting this down to be, it was a 6 by 6 piece of paper. So I've just cut it down to be 4 inches wide. And then taking the die and some of that thermal web purple tape, using my mat to line up this die so that it's straight. And then I'll run that through my machine 3 times to get 3 different layers of grass. Just taking my Big Shot machine, running it through. And then, like I said, I'll do that a few times to get a few layers, because I want there to be a lot of grass in this springtime scene. So I've got my background piece and my layers of grass, and now the scene is starting to really come together. I really love that green pattern paper for grass. I think this is a really fun way to incorporate pattern paper in a way that we don't usually. I feel like usually we use pattern paper as a layering piece. So this is a way to make it a really focal point of your card. So I'm taking out the greeting set, and I've chosen the big spring. So it's going to say welcome spring. It's kind of odd because this week in parts of the country, it is still snowing. I live in Fort Worth, Texas, and so it is not snowing. Today it got up to I think 80. So we are well past winter here. Hopefully, now that I've said that, you never know. If you've ever lived in Texas, weather is bizarre here. You might think it's too cold one day, but wait, tomorrow it will be warm. So you never know. But I thought I would send this card out to a friend that is living in New York City, where they are really anticipating spring. So I thought this would be fun to send to her. So I'm going to heat emboss that welcome spring sentiment onto the top of my card using white embossing powder. This is the Hero Arts white embossing powder. Again, I feel like with the white embossing powder, it gives it that cloud look that I'm going for on my kind of splotchy background where I'm already kind of getting a cloud effect. So I'm really coating that on, really want to make sure that that is crisp and even and that I have good coverage. So just taking my heat tool, it was already still pretty hot from doing the background, and just heat setting this. Not including coloring the images, this card took me half an hour to put together, which I don't feel like is that bad. How long does it take you to put a card together? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm wondering if that's pretty normal or if it takes people way shorter or way longer. Who knows? So I have finally ordered a Big Mama foam roll off Amazon. So exciting to bust that open and get to use it. I feel like I was just going through the little rolls way too quick, and I needed to invest in the Big Mama roll. So just layering these grass pieces on using some dot runner, nothing too fancy. And then that final layer I'll put on with foam tape to give the card a little bit of dimension. I also have these little foam hexagons off to the side. I cannot for the life of me remember where these came from, but I've had them and I feel like I need to use them up. So just trying to use up what I've got, and so I might as well use these. So here's that foam tape, just getting a nice even layer on. Foam tape is something, I've said this before, that I'm really liberal with as far as my craft supplies, because I don't want this to get crushed in the mail. Like I said, this has to make it from Fort Worth to New York City. So I want it to get to my friend in good shape and not have creases and divots where there isn't foam tape, if that makes sense. So just using a lot of that. I'll actually, if I'm being honest, probably put this one in a bubble mailer because it's got a little bit of dimension. So now I am taking all of my bunnies and their accessories and laying out this scene. So just kind of placing them here and there. I like it when they are kind of peeking behind the grass and maybe you can see the grass at their feet. And that bunny that's sitting down, I thought it looked cute that he was kind of sitting behind the grass. So just playing with things. The watering can, the carrot, the beet or radish. Is that a beet or a radish? I think it's a radish. Let's go. We'll go with radish. And the little strawberry, I thought it'd be cute if the guy that was sitting was holding the strawberry. And then these little birds, which I ended up thinking would be really cute if they sat on the greeting. So I've put both of them sitting on the greeting, and I think that adds a cute touch. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put some of those little foam hexagons, foam dots, up behind those birds so that they kind of sit on top of the greeting. And then I'll go ahead and adhere all of the rest of the pieces down, these really cute little bunnies and all of their little props to make this scene really come to life. Sometimes on these, I feel like the more that you put on and add, the better these scenes look. But then there's also a certain point in which you've got too much going on. So it's kind of a fine line. But instead of just putting down the 3 bunnies, adding the little props, the vegetables, the watering can, things like that, just really make this scene come to life. These bunnies were really easy to color. I just colored them with warm gray copics. And I think that it makes the most adorable set. Also, I'd like to point out it's after Easter and I'm still using bunny sets because I don't feel like Easter is the only time where you can use bunny sets. You could use them year round. By the way, if you just heard a squeaking sound in the background, my dog came in through the dog door. So say hi to Charlie. He's my 4.5-year-old Wheaten Terrier. So that is the card. And so I'm going to adhere it to a standard A2 size card. So 4.25 by 5.5. And like I said before, this card front is 4 by 5.25. So there's going to be a little bit of edge all the way around. And that is the card for today. Like I said, I'm really, really excited about the stamp company and what they're doing. The links are down below, so go check them out and let me know what you think of Hello Bluebird. One of the things I love most about our community is that we're really accepting of new stamp companies, so go and check them out. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe to see more from me. Thank you so much.